All right, so welcome to our second Rotaract meeting of the semester. Um, Tonight's agenda, we're going to start with the four-way test, and then we have Professor Satal here to give us a LinkedIn seminar. And then since we've got a lot of new members, we're going to do an icebreaker and just try to get to know everyone, give some club updates, and we're going to talk about our community service from this past month and what we've got going on this month. And then we're going to talk about our new elected members and officers. And then we're going to give you our social media. Just make sure y'all are all connected. Right, so this is the four-way test of things we do and say. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Okay, so I'm really excited to introduce our guest speaker. It's Ms. Satal Sai, and I actually have had the pleasure to be in two of her classes here at Ole Miss. They were awesome. I learned so much and was really pushed as a student to think outside of the box. And so I'm going to tell a little bit about her. She received her MBA and BBA in Business and Economics from Millsaps College. After that, she was a political consultant at Chisholm Strategies for 7 years, where she received her Rising Star Award. And now she currently works as a project manager and instructor at Ole Miss. And tonight she's going to talk to us about LinkedIn. So Professor Sai, if you want to take over.
Yeah. Hey, how are you guys?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, I made you a co-host, so let me try. You got it.
Okay, so hi everybody. I just read an interesting article about Gen Z, and it's really, really interesting. Gen Z is spending so much time learning online that the latest study I saw said that if you in the Generation Z will spend the time learning if you know that it will help your future jobs. So the platforms out there for you guys to learn any kind of content is really incredible, and you guys are definitely taking advantage of it. So I wanted to give you guys just a really big applause for, as a generation, stepping up and doing what needs to be done to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. So really interesting article. So let's talk about LinkedIn. How many of you have a LinkedIn? Most of you, some of you. Okay. And Matt, I'm going to call on you and pick on you. If you were to describe what LinkedIn is, what would you say it is?
In as little words as possible, I would say it's professional social media.
Yeah. So you have your Facebook for your grandparents, and you have TikTok for the not millennials, and you have Instagram, and then you have your Finstagram. Is that correct? So I'm learning all the things. But your LinkedIn is your social media presence for a professional setting. So I'll go ahead and say it. 90% of employers look for you on Google when you're in a job search or internship search process. So if you know they're looking for you and they're looking at your online content, go ahead and be aware of what content you have public and what you have private for your other social media accounts, but give them an opportunity to find you in a way that you can control. LinkedIn is a really good example, a good place for you to control your content so that when they come to you, you are presenting what you want to present to them. Okay. Some fun facts about LinkedIn that I really love is that 80% in a study showed that they reveal that it shows new job opportunities. 70% of people who were hired at a company had a connection with somebody on LinkedIn. It's a great soft touch to build a relationship with people, especially right now when we're all on Zoom and it's hard to, like, will we ever shake hands with other humans? I don't know. But at least on LinkedIn, I don't know. Are we going to blow out candles on birthday cakes? I think we should just shut that down. So, And 20 million people use it every week. LinkedIn is a massive network, and it's a place that you can collect, to gamify this a little bit, collect networks, collect connections over time, and you can just have them on LinkedIn, and eventually you can use them or not use them, but they're there for you to develop over time. I'm going to share this PDF with you guys, and they have hyperlinks in there. So as you move on, you can, or you want to work on it on your own, you're welcome to. And I also shared with you guys 10 steps on how to optimize your LinkedIn that I'll cover a little bit broadly, but it's more specific that might be more helpful for you, and it has video tutorials linked in it too. So if we're looking at how employers, how recruiters, hiring managers look at LinkedIn and how they look at your profile, they're first looking at your photo, which is a huge indicator to me that your photo is your first impression here. It's the ability for you for them to decide in what, less than 5 seconds, whether or not they want to keep scrolling or move on. Unfortunately, this is what LinkedIn is. So make sure your headshot and your profile picture is professional, but also a true depiction of who you are. I've seen some examples of students using high school photos or senior portraits or whatever. It needs to be professional, but I'll show you guys some examples in just a minute. Next, they move on to your headline, and then it looks like they're moving to your job experience, internship experience, other related experiences, and then any updates you have, and then any recommendations that you have. So the easiest thing, this is the pro tip that business communication teaches students, is change your URL so it is SEO optimized, right? Search engine optimization. Clean up your URL, it's free to do. You get a default that's a bunch of numbers and letters, but you can easily change it to your username or your name. I recommend keeping it obviously professional, like Sadie Smith or Matt Eddy or whatever it is. So I'm picking on them because they were my students. But, so that's an easy one. It's easy to customize your URL. Your professional photo. Things that you should look for in a professional headshot. A clean bokeh background is ideal. So something where the background is a little blurry so that your focus is on the main headshot. Somewhere shoulders and up so that you can see the person's face. Sometimes when you crop too close to the face, it looks more like a, I don't know if anybody ever had a MySpace account, but it kind of looks like a MySpace account if you are too cropped, and if you're too far out, you really don't get a sense of who the person is. This is a place for you to think about what industry you're pursuing. So if you are a finance major or an accounting major, you probably want a more professional headshot. If you are an IMC major or a marketing major, or you're going into fashion or hospitality or whatever, your headshot might look a little bit different or a little bit more business casual. So just note that your headshot should be indicative of the industry that you're heading into. And I'm really emphasizing the headshot right now because, as we saw, that's like the #1 thing that employers are looking at, or recruiters. Don't have alcohol in your shot. That's a no, obviously. And what I often see in student headshots is they use their fraternity or sorority headshot. A lot of fraternities use their headshots. That's very obvious that it's a fraternity headshot. It's not professional because it's a fraternity headshot. I've also seen, the cropped out arms where you're holding or have your arms around somebody. Don't do that. Take the time, get a nice headshot. The Career Center hosts LinkedIn headshots for free several times throughout each semester. So they are a great place for you to, I don't know, just put on makeup one day and go out there and get a headshot. Just have one nice headshot. Okay, next is your headline. This is a place for you to, again, use these keywords and phrases that are common in search. So you want your name and your profile to show up when recruiters are searching for specific phrases in an industry. So the first thing I would say for you guys to do is to look at your industry. take, and this would be a really easy activity, especially as you're beginning an internship or job search, to take 3 job descriptions from an internship position or job position that you would want to aspire to in your industry, and look at the action verbs that they are using in their job description. Look at the key terms and the key phrases. You'll probably start to see some commonalities among the between the 2 or 3 job descriptions that you pull up. Use those keywords, use those phrases in your LinkedIn, because you want recruiters to look at your LinkedIn and say, wow, this person seems perfect for the job. Well, you are, because you use their words, right? Their keywords. A professional summary. This is a place, it's your about you space. It's your place to show a little bit of your personality, your narrative, who you are, where you come from professionally, and what value you're bringing to the table. And then you have your experiences. You have the ability here to really customize LinkedIn to offer a lot of detail on your accomplishments. Think through not just what the job description is of the position that you held, but also what value you brought to that position. So think, if you're thinking about bullet points in a position that you held, if it reads like a job description, anybody could have done that. Think about your unique value proposition and what selling points you have. And again, this is a place for you to show transferable skills, because as we know about where the industries are heading, you know, Lori and I are educators. We're here preparing you for a job that might not exist yet, as technology is moving really, really fast. So being resilient and having transferable skills are a really important pieces that you should be demonstrating in your professional portfolios. Okay, and then your education. Have your degree, your major, your correct degree and your correct major, any specializations or emphasis areas and minors, and also associate your education with the correct name of the university or college that you are attending, so you can look up University of Mississippi and have that alumni network connected to it. And then there's space for extracurriculars. You can add accomplishments, you can add achievements, you can add honors, certifications, anything into LinkedIn. You can customize it. And the great thing about LinkedIn is you can add media. So if you've been profiled on our website, looking at some of you, and you want that link on your LinkedIn, that's a great place to do that. Skills and endorsements. Skills, again, this is a place for you to show your transferable skills, show that you have resiliency in any type of job that you would go into. So we all know that graduating from college and going into your first position, you're not going to know everything, right? Who knows how to use a fax machine? I still don't. But what employers look for, especially out of that first job that you have, is not what you know, but your ability to have work ethic to learn what you need to know, to take that initiative. So if you're showing transferable skills, that you're a self-starter, that you have initiative, those are areas that you can show in your skills here and have other people recommend and endorse you for those things. And then I want to show you a sample LinkedIn that we've created for the School of Business. You can kind of see all of this in action. So you can see a nice clean headshot. She's an honors finance student with investment banking experience. Even just hearing this alone, you know a lot about this one person just in this first headline. Her about section here tells you a little bit about her experiences and her narrative. She was featured. And then her previous experiences with bullet points for accomplishments, her education and activities, her certifications, if you have certifications, any volunteer experience, and then endorsements and accomplishments. So I will share this presentation with you guys so you have it, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time. So do you guys have any questions for me?
I just really wanted to thank you for coming. I know that LinkedIn is something that a lot of college students don't really think of. I know that I didn't really know anything about it until your class. But thank you so much for coming. Also, Ole Miss Rotaract has a LinkedIn page, so everyone who's a member of the club can like it and have that link to their LinkedIn.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder to join all the networks, the groups that you're a part of, to keep in touch with those very expansive networks. Rotaract has an international presence, and that's a great way to step off into different opportunities. So thanks guys for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and take those PDFs if you want them.
Yes, that's awesome. Bye, thank you.
All right, I'm going to go back to the slides now.
Okay, so I know that we've had a lot of new members join Rotaract, so we thought that would be a good idea to do a small little icebreaker to get to know our members. I know over Zoom it's a little bit difficult to make connections, but if you feel comfortable, just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. You can say your name, your hometown, grade, and major, and if you have any prior experience with Interact or Rotaract or Rotary in general, you can speak up and tell us about that. So I'll go first. My name is Sadie. I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I am a sophomore and my major is real estate with a minor in entrepreneurship. In high school, I was actually involved in Interact, which is the high school version of Rotaract and Rotary. And now I serve as the president of Ole Miss Rotaract. And I also serve as a counselor at RILA, which is a Rotary sponsored summer camp for rising seniors. And I'm so happy that y'all are all here tonight.
I'll go next. My name is
I
Matt.
can go next.
Oh, go ahead, Bailey.
Are you sure? Okay, my name's Bailey Fry. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a sophomore. Major is dietetics and nutrition. I do not have any prior experience with Rotaract, but I'm really looking forward to getting into it.
My name is Matt Eddy. I'm from Fairhope, Alabama. I'm a senior marketing major. My prior experience, I was president of my Interact club in high school. And then also when I transferred to Ole Miss as a junior, I helped to co-found the Ole Miss Rotaract Club.
My name is Macaulay Johnson, and I'm from Starkville, Mississippi. My major is marketing with an emphasis in sales, and I've been a member since Matt started the Rotaract Club here at Ole Miss.
My name is Lizzie. I'm a sophomore banking and finance major, and I do not have any previous experience with Rotaract, but I'm very excited. Shout out to Sadie Smith for reaching out to me.
Okay, well, if anyone else doesn't want to go, that's okay. But we're going to start trying to come up with ways to kind of get some more member involvement during the meetings, just because if it were in real life, you would be able to meet everyone who's in the club. And we're just trying to make sure that we get everyone involved. So does anyone else want to go before I move on?
Can I just jump in because I know some of the students don't know me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Dr. Babin. I'm a marketing professor and I'm the faculty advisor. And so I was with Matt when we started it 2 years ago, reactivated Rotaract. I've had experience at the University of Louisiana Monroe where we started a Rotaract club, and I've been a Rotary member, I don't know how many years now, 6 or so years. And so I'm a member of our sponsoring Rotary Club. So I'm really happy to see all of you here, and hopefully we'll get back to normal someday and actually meet up in person.
My food?
Okay, so now I'm going to go over some of our club updates. So Ole Miss Rotaract meets once a month, normally the first Tuesday of every month. So today is March 2nd. Our next meeting will be April 6th, which is the first Tuesday of April. Due to COVID restrictions, our meetings will continue to be over Zoom until further notice. Also, for those of you who are older members of Rotaract, there was a Google form that people used to join, but if you don't mind going to Ole Miss and signing up through the forum for Rotaract, we're starting to switch over to the forum. It just makes it a little bit easier when we send out emails to everyone. Also, to be a member in good standing of Rotaract, we're requiring 5 hours. And you can get these from attending meetings as well as participating in our community service projects. In a typical semester, we would require 10 hours. Because of COVID, we're cutting it in half and requiring 5.
All right, so last month we did the canned food drive as our service project, and we donated a total of 45 canned goods to the Grove Grocery. For this month, we are gonna do a couple different things. This one is not gonna be like Rotaract is all gonna go together, but this is a great opportunity if you want to get a point for an hour of service. This Saturday and on April 17th, there's going to be trash pickup. And if y'all want more details, you can contact Michelle Robinson, and there's her email. So for anyone who doesn't want to do anything in person, we're also going to do a St. Jude's letters, and you can just do 3 online letters for the patients, and that will also count as 1 club service hour. And then we can send the link in the group me so that y'all can find it easier. Also, Ole Miss Big Event is something that I know a lot of us will be participating in. So we've made it so that you can participate through Rotaract if you'd like, but you'd also be able to get a point if you are already doing it through a different group.
So now we're going to announce our newest Ole Miss Rotaract officers. So for secretary, we have Molly Kate Bowman, and for treasurer, we have Shelby Sledge. If y'all don't mind just introducing yourselves and just telling us where you're from and your major, that'd be great.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
Oh, you can go.
My name's Molly Kate Bowman. I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and my major is communication sciences and disorders.
I'm Shelby Sledge. I'm a sophomore business major on the pre-dental track, and I'm from Amory, Mississippi.
All right, Matt, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. So just kind of quickly unmute yourself and let it be known if you're a senior in here. Anybody?
Sorry, me.
Okay, there's one. And then for others that aren't in attendance tonight, just reach out to us via email. But basically what we're thinking of doing is either getting the local Rotary Club to sponsor and purchase honor cords for everybody that is in good standing with the Rotaract Club for graduation, or worst case scenario, we can kind of just Venmo and then make a large purchase and make sure that they get distributed. So if anybody's interested, if they will just send me a message in the chat or send an email to olemissrotaract@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, so we just want to make sure if y'all have not yet, you can find our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and our Instagram, and we've got a link to the GroupMe, which is where we're going to do most of our communication. I don't think we have anything else. Sadie, do you have anything?
I don't, but thank you all for coming. If y'all have any questions or suggestions of community service projects, you can email the Ole Miss Rotaract email, or you can message one of the exec members, and tell your friends about Rotaract. Our next meeting will be next month on April 6th. But thank you everyone for coming out, and I'll see y'all next month.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks.
y'all.